everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with another plan with me. So, let's get into this. You're probably wondering why we're using this kit, and I'll get into that in just a moment. But since it's always Saturday and this is how we go, this is how this week is turning out to be. So, filmed this a couple of weeks ago. This is the Country Cafe kit because I was thinking green for St. Patrick's Day. Little did I know I have an amazing kind of rainbow kit that I really should have used. Clearly I need to plan out my kits better. Yes. So if you follow me in the Facebook group, you'll see that Whitney posted like this amazing rainbow spread using the rainbow kit. And I was like, oh my gosh, why did I not think of that? Yeah. But you know, when you have like 500 kits sitting in your stash, you have a tendency to forget. So this upcoming week is going to be this kit right here with Diner, and I'm super excited. So why are we using this kit? Well, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit and get started because this upcoming week, well, not this upcoming weekend, but the weekend of this spread, specifically this day right here, is my husband's birthday. It's also my birthday too. That's right, we share the same birthday. So I was like, well, I don't have a very masculine birthday kit. And the Father's Day kit art that I'm getting ready to design a kit with would work, but I haven't designed it yet, so I couldn't use that. And stuff, and it's art that was just released. I just purchased it the other day, so it's not like it was exclusive art or anything, because I try to be pretty good about my exclusive art. Anyways, Steve and I share the same birthday. That is right, we do. And one of his favorite movies, not his favorite movies, or movie, wow. One of his favorite movie is Harry and the Hendersons with Bigfoot. And I was like, well, I've got a Bigfoot kit. Like, we had a good time laughing about all of that stuff. And then he also loves to really go hiking. And I would really love to take him to see, like, the giant redwoods in California. I think that would be just amazing. So I was like, this is like a perfect... This can work. This is a good man kit. It's got a lot of manly colors in it. So I'm like, we can do this. We can do this. All right, let's see where to start. Let's start on this one. So Steve is not the only family member that I share. Like, I was like, where do I want to go with this? How do I want to start with this? It's not the only family member or person that I shared the birthday with. So the day my birthday falls on is April 3rd, and that is also my great uncle's birthday. He was one of my favorite great uncles. He is hilarious. He has since passed on, but his name was Max, and he was just the funniest guy in the world. Everybody loved Uncle Max. And he did not want to be called like great uncle. Like, he was like, you call me Uncle Max. Like, that's how he was. And his wife was amazing and all that. She's still alive, but I haven't seen her in years. But I'm gonna give a little story here. So Steve and I met when we were both in the military. Steve's still in the military, by the way. We met, oh my gosh, I can't lay down a glitter header straight to save my life. Good thing this is not something to ensure like the safety of somebody, because I would totally fail at it. So, we met when we were serving both out of our first duty stations. Wow. Am I like super nervous to tell this story? I don't know why. I've told this story to a bunch of people a million times, but now it's like going out there. So, let me get my train of thought straight and figured out and all this fun jazz. So our first duty station, we shared at the same base. So he was, well, let me rephrase that. We were both stationed at the same base, different locations. There we go. And he he worked on one side of the base. I worked on another. How we ended up meeting was the girl that I took over for at our at my command. She would go up to this place in Tennessee for military related stuff. Okay, paperwork. That's all it is, and monthly meetings and stuff. Well, he worked at a squadron that the planes flew up, that would fly up there, and so here's little old me. I was an E3, so fresh out of boot camp, fresh out of A school, don't know really much about the military, everything still scares me type stuff. And the second class petty officer in my office ended up going on bed rest because she, was about ready to have a baby, and the only other person who could grasp her job was me. And well, I had to learn, obviously have to go up to these monthly meetings and travel and everything. So the fellow second class petty officer in my office, he found my now husband as a point of contact, and was, like, hey, and gave me his number and was like, hey, you're going to meet him over here on this day and he'll show you the ropes. And I will tell you, from the minute that happened, I was so scared. So I couldn't get onto where his command was. So I had to be in my car and I had to, just wait. And I guess they went in a different location, but that's obviously not where I was told to go. So I luckily had his number. I was like, hey, I'm here waiting, but there's obviously nobody here to let me on. I'm a little confused. Where do I go? He's like, don't worry, I'll be down there in just a minute. You'll see me coming down. I'm like, okay. And sure enough, he was there, and he kind of like took me under his wing. We flew up there to Memphis, technically Millington, but we'll just say it was Memphis. And we, did our monthly meetings and got on the planes, all that jazz. I don't want to do yellow with yellow, so we're just going to move over just a little bit. While we were up there, I had finished everything that I needed to do. I had already talked to a lot of these people on the phone, so once I figured out faces meet names, things got really comfortable. I was able to do what I needed to do. We went to the little meetings that we had to. We talked with the people that we needed to talk to and everything. So I'm now done with everything, but it isn't time to leave. It isn't time to head back to the plane yet. So I see Steve, or PS3 Baldwin, or it was technically PN3 Baldwin at that time. Anyways, I'm getting into technicalities. I see him sitting down at a desk, and I go and I sit down next to him, and I notice that a ribbon on his ribbon rack on his uniform is missing. Well, I'm just trying to be nice and kind, and I said, hey, did you know that you have one of your ribbons is missing? And he snapped back at me, you guys. Okay, I might be a little dramatic because I know he's going to be listening in on this. I might be just a little dramatic, but in my young 20-year-old mind and view, this dude just snapped at me, okay? And he's like, yes, I know. Everybody has told me. You're like the umpteenth person who's told me. I was like, whoa, dude, all right. Like, chill out. Like, how was I supposed to know that everybody has told you? Duh. So I think this time I'm going, because normally I use a lot of these, but I think this time I'm going to use this stuff just because I'm really digging the pattern. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Back to the story. So I think he felt really bad for snapping at me. Normally I use checklists and I can't do. Okay. Do I, you know what? No, we've already laid it down. We're going to just do things a little bit differently. I think on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I'll do the checklist. That way we kind of have a little mode of stuff going on. So I think he felt bad that he snapped at me, because he did snap at me, and I like immediately shut down and was like, I'm not talking to you anymore. Like, you're a crazy man that likes to, you know, snap at people. I was just trying to be nice. And starts small talk, right? And I'm not a fan of small talk. Which is why it's really hard sometimes for me to do these videos, because it's like, what do I talk about? Because I'm not good at it. He's really good at it, and he makes people feel at ease very, very quickly. So that was not a problem there. He made me feel at ease very, very quickly. Not to mention, I did think that he was very cute, so that did help out his case a lot. And he proceeded to, you know, give small talk, get to know me, make me feel comfortable, all that jazz, right? So what's one of the things you ask people when you're trying to do small talk and stuff? You ask them, you know, like where they're from, when they were born, this, that, and the other. So we get to that, and he asked me, you know, hey, when's your birthday? And I was like, oh, my birthday's April 3rd. And he got a little too excited that it made me feel like it was a joke. He was like, oh, really? My birthday's April 3rd too. And I was like, no, it's not. And he's like, no, truly it is. And I called him a liar. I said, you're such a liar. I really did, you guys. I called him a liar. And he's like, no, seriously, my birthday is April 3rd. And I was like, show me your ID card. I thought I had him trumped on something. I was like, show me your ID card. And he's like, okay. So he pulls out his ID card, and sure enough, on the back of his ID card is his birthday, and it says April 3rd. I was mortified. Mortified, you guys, because not only has this guy made me feel super comfortable, not only is he super cute, I have now just called him a liar to his face. How do you redeem yourself from that? So I probably turned like all shades of red. All shades of red. In fact, you know what? I am a very fair-skinned person. I blush very easily. My cheeks flush when I get emotional, when I'm about ready to cry, when I'm super, super happy, when I'm embarrassed, when I'm scared. Like, I flush, okay, guys? So chances are I was all sorts of shade of red. And so here's this Filipino dude just like smiling at me, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I guess you really were born on April 3rd. And he's like, yes, I was. I'm like, okay. So that was really our first like introduction meeting. Okay. I mean, obviously he gave me like the rundown of people at his command, like ones to stay, you know, people to stay away from, you know, who's who, things like that. Cause you know, he's a good guy, but not all guys do that. So it was very, very weird, especially knowing some of the relationships I had been in. So, I think I'm going to use this Bigfoot guy, this big Bigfoot. So on the way home was pretty uneventful, obviously, because we sat in our own areas. He still talked to me all the way home. What those conversations were about, I have absolutely no idea. All I know is that he was cute and he was talking to me, and I was probably like just batting my eyelashes like a dumb, you know, swooned girl and everything. So over the course of the next few months, we would see each other. Obviously, the whole, you know, planes flying up there stuff continued on and everything and stuff. And I ended up becoming the travel coordinator for my command. So I ended up getting to like stay in really nice hotels because, you know, especially like if one of my leaders was going with me, because then they would let me do that. So we would stay in things like the Marriott and the Radisson, and they would be staying over in the Navy Lodge. And they're like, that's so not fair. And I'm like, hey guys, just come over and hang out. So like I got to know everybody really, really well. Well, shortly after a few months, I didn't need to go so often anymore. And also the planes weren't flying up there as often anymore. So it really kind of put to a squash on, you know, how often we got to see each other. And so, you know, we would talk, we would send emails and ask people questions. And there were times that he wasn't able to go up, and he'd be like, hey, are you going up to the meeting this month? And I'd be like, yeah. He's like, can you let me know about this, and this? And I was like, yeah, sure, not a problem. So we would email, and, you know, we became friends first. And then, like, I didn't hear from him for a while, and I was like, oh, that's kind of just how it is. Sometimes you hear from people, sometimes you don't. Not a big deal and everything. And then I was dog sitting for one of the chiefs in my command. She had to travel and needed somebody to watch her dog, and she asked me, is that what I'm doing? Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday. And, you know, had me watch her dog, and I get a call out of the blue from Steve Baldwin. And I didn't recognize the number at first on my cell phone. I was like, hello? And he was just like, hey. And I'm like, who the heck is this? Like, I had no clue who it was, you guys. I had no clue. And he's like, really? I feel offended that you don't know who this is. And I was like, dude, I have enough people call my cell phone. I hear a lot of voices. You sound familiar, but you're going to have to tell me who you are. And then he was like, it's Steve from over at such and such command. I was like, oh. And immediately, I'm sure I probably turned all shades of red, because once again, what did I think he was? I thought he was really cute. So he's like, I have some news for you. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? News for me? What news? We haven't talked in months. How do you have news for me? He's like, I got a lot to tell you. When can you meet up for something? I was like, tonight, tomorrow night? He's like, okay, tomorrow night, let's meet up. And we went to a Starbucks, right? Oh my gosh, you guys. See, these are like things that you remember like years later, and you're just like, you were head over heels. And I was probably just head over heels from him right from the first minute. But we go to Starbucks, and we you know, he grabs his coffee, I don't even remember what I grabbed. Obviously it wasn't that important. And we're sitting there just chit-chatting. He's telling me about the things that he needed to tell me about. And guys, literally, I'm smitten by this guy. So we ended up staying there at that Starbucks until it closed. And we had to move to go sit at his car, because they were like, hey guys, we have to like pick up the chairs. Yeah, we were those people. So he, you know, was like, hey, I'd like to take you out for like a proper date one of these nights. Are you up for that? And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, of course I am. Oh my gosh, been waiting for this day forever type thing. And we went out on a date, and after we went on that date, he took me to a park, and he asked me, he was like, hey, will you be my girlfriend? Can we be exclusive? I would really like to get to know you. All that fun jazz. And well, y'all, the rest is kind of history. How many years later? Almost 17 years later. It'll be 17 years this July that we, you know, like made it official, but we've known each other for almost 20 years now. I wasn't supposed to put a checklist there. I just got so into the mode of things. It's okay. This is what I'm gonna do. I just got so into the mode of telling this story. See, even now, he still gives me butterflies and makes me nervous. I start talking about him, and he makes me nervous. I don't even know what I'm doing. Yes. Oh, yes. This lady be swooning. So, all these years later, he still makes me laugh. He still, like, I'm really glad that I answered that phone call. Because if I had not answered that phone call, I don't know where we'd be. I do not think we would be, I'm gonna just take this washi right here and put it there just because there isn't, I kind of messed up this day. See, he was giving me butterflies. He was giving me the whole, just talking about it. So yeah, so 17 years this July is when we officially became a couple, and we've known each other for almost 20 years. So I still think it's amazing that we share the same birthday. It actually makes it really, really nice. It's always a fun conversation starter, especially when you're applying for something. Like every time we have applied for like a home loan, or anything that requires both of our birth dates and things like that, they're all like, wait a second, you guys share the same birthday? And we're like, yeah. They're like, that's so cool. And so it's like a good conversation starter. It's like, we're trying, yeah, we're not lying to you. We share the same birthday. So yeah, all these years later, I'm still just as smitten as I was back then. Oh yeah. All right, we are on the weekend. I want to make sure that I get the weekend banner down. There we go. Perfect for the weekend. So yes, do we have any big plans for this birthday? No. One thing, okay guys, you have to understand, sometimes the military does not care about many things. One is they don't care about wedding anniversaries and birthdays, and a lot of the times they don't care about the birth of your own children. So I mean, it is what it is, and we make the best of it and stuff. So in all of our years, we have never really celebrated a birthday together. And it's not, I mean, it's usually a drill weekend, or he's been deployed, or he's traveling, or something. There's always something that happens on our birthday. And then obviously coming up, it's a Sunday, and we don't go out on Sundays to like do day nights and stuff like that, partly because we're just exhausted. Okay, I don't want to use that, so I'm going to move those out of the way. I just want to make sure that I've got things to work with here. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and put another checklist down, and then I will just make sure that we don't have a checklist there, since I screwed everything up. I was doing good on the first half of the week, second half of the week, it is what it is. So, we've never celebrated a birthday. We also have never really officially celebrated an anniversary. We never got to go on a honeymoon, and that part of that was because we had to get back. So we got married, and then we flew back immediately, like 2 days later, because the following day he had to check out of his command to go to his new command. So that's just kind of been the way that our life goes, and I'm completely fine with it, because it isn't just one day that needs to be celebrated. That's just my opinion. He does things for me. I love it. It's great. We have a good time. Clearly, if you see any of our photos, we have a good time. We have a good time. And then, obviously, if you've seen the reels that I've done with him, he's a really great sport, you guys. So, all right. What am I going to use? Let's use this brown one up over here. So I'm trying to use up all of these. So that is why I've picked this kit, because I pick all the other kits for me pretty much, but this one is very much, normally I'd ask him to pick the kit, but I am 99% sure, okay, I am 99.9% sure that he would have picked this kit anyways. And Steve, if you are watching, let us all know down in the comments down below if I was right. He's probably going to be like, no, of course she wasn't right. I wanted something with pink and purple. That's probably what he's going to do, because he doesn't want to say that I'm right out in front of everybody. Come on now. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and finish this up. I know that this is going to be a super busy week, because this is the full week ahead of TPC sale. So I know we're going to be super busy getting a whole bunch of stuff done. And hopefully by this point as well, we're well into like a contract for a house. That, you know, the inspection's done, that all of that fun stuff is done. Okay, let's move on over to the sidebar here. I'm going to go ahead and put this last sticker down here at the bottom, because for my sidebars, I don't necessarily need, ooh, that's a little, oh, yeah, come on. I don't necessarily need all the room because I don't use a sidebar in like a traditional sense. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I have a hard time with sidebars, but we all know that. We all know that. But yes, I'm hoping that we are really well into a contract with the house, and that not only am I getting stuff prepared for TPC, but that I'm also getting stuff prepared for a move. We are staying here in the great state of Texas, and we actually have already determined that we want everything to move at the same time. So we're gonna spend time and just get stuff done. So that way we can just unload it at the new place. And yes, we will be unloading all of the boxes. So, because we're done moving. Done. Very much done. Okay, so a lot of the really, really big important stuff like taxes and getting documents into our lender and all of that stuff, a lot of that has been done. So I'm wondering if I need a checklist. You know what? I would rather need it and not have it and just put frivolous stuff in it than need it and not have it. That's kind of my philosophy on that one. And then I always do channel surfing because I watch a lot of TV, and knowing that I'm going to be doing a lot of cutting, chances are, actually, it's a little crooked, but chances are I will actually be listening to my book. What is going on here? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, I'm not going to use any deco, although I might save the deco. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. In fact, I have the birthday balloons right here. We're going to go ahead and make sure that we actually put those down on that date. And yes, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save the deco for this kit, just because I think it would be fun to use a lot of the deco to just mark off things, like to mark the empty white space when I write stuff down. So yeah. All right. So let me zoom it out here just a little bit so you can see the full look at everything. There we go. I hope you enjoyed the story of how my husband and I met and how he still gives me butterflies and all that fun jazz, and that, yeah, I'm not above calling somebody a liar and them being proven wrong. Let's just hope my face doesn't turn all shades of red. All right, you guys, if you really enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Click that notification bell, and definitely leave a comment down below. I know somebody mentioned about my volume, so I'm going to work with that. So hopefully this video is better in volume. Just let me know about that. If it's too loud or too soft, leave a comment down below letting me know so that I can make adjustments. Other than that, what are my 3 things? Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye now.